Hey everybody, Chris here. Dogecoin facing a critical test. We're going to talk about that along with Bitcoin, what else is going on in the markets. Please be sure to subscribe to my channel. Hit that little notification bell too. You can be notified when new videos come out, as well as when I do live streams. My Friday live stream I will not have. I'm going to be at a FIFA World Cup watch party. Yes, United States playing on a Friday afternoon. So I'm making this video instead. So this will kind of put together all of these things that are going on this Juneteenth. This is June 19th, and Juneteenth is a United States holiday, so there's no stock trading. Right, New York Stock Exchange, NASDAQ are closed. So crypto is on its own, but it's not doing much, as you see right here overnight. Dogecoin kind of holding here about 8.2 cents, going sideways after falling back yesterday. We'll talk about that fallback. Bitcoin is at 62.4. Again, kind of going sideways here for the past almost a day since Bitcoin fell back. Why did Bitcoin fall back? What is this bear flag that we had been watching during the live streams, and Bitcoin failing out of the bear flag? What is all of this about? We start here: Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Doge slide further amid Fed's hawkish shift. Analyst paints this upside target for BTC if it holds 64,000 as support. Well, Bitcoin didn't hold 64,000. Bitcoin's down at 62.4. So the summer of 2026 continues. Bear market, as Chris has been talking about this for months. Yes, since last November, I highlighted what the summer of 2026 was going to look like, and it is playing out. We didn't know what the narratives were going to be. We didn't know what was going to be the cause of prices going lower. They just go lower. So what is it this time? So we can talk about the Fed, new Fed chair. We talked about that on Wednesday's live stream, and sort of this hawkish tone, and the task forces being the excuse of why things aren't being done. No change in rates. What happened to Trump's pick that was going to lower interest rates? Yeah, that we've been saying that that's not going to happen. So we have that side of it, which is more of an equity thing overall, but the cryptocurrency market tends to follow the equity markets in times like that. But there's other things going on as well, as Bitcoin is in this range here, again in the 62.4 range here, that Altcoin Sherpa says, honestly, the levels are not super clean or clear to me down in this range. Next interesting area is around 61K. So that seems to be a bottom right there that we saw earlier in June of 61 that could serve as a short-term support if Bitcoin continues to drift down further. And then after that, we go down to the lows below 69 in the 50, or below 60 into the 59s, and could go lower. Coin Bureau says crypto has lost over $100 billion since the U.S.-Iran MOU was signed. So we thought, oh, end of the war, right? Everything's going to go up, and not so fast. And is the war really ended? This memorandum of understanding is not a peace deal, and Israel and Hezbollah aren't playing their roles like they should, and the United States, of course, is not controlling what's going on over there. So it's a big mess, kind of as we thought would probably happen, that would continue to be a mess. There's no clarity, right? No clearing up there happening. And so the risk off continues, and crypto is just not the place to be. We also have gold and silver coming down. So you would think that during times of war, gold and silver is where people put their money. They are becoming more like equities and trading more like equities, as they've been over the past year. And we now see gold, silver, and other metals coming down in price as well. So all of that is going on. And then for Bitcoin itself and the digital asset world, because most cryptos do follow what Bitcoin does, we have MicroStrategy and Stretch. So I showed this the other day. It got worse for a bit yesterday on Stretch. So Stretch fell even more on the 18th, Thursday the 18th, all the way down to 82.53 was the low. Now this is supposed to be 100, and that's supposed to be the so-called peg, although it's not a stable coin. MicroStrategy would need to raise the yield from 11.5 even higher to get buyers to come in to move this up. Now, at the end of the day, there was some recovery. There was some buying of this. Again, this is not a straightforward stock. This is to be traded like a stock. It's a preferred stock. And the whole idea is the yield is based on or given to all of the holders of this. But when you have a stock out there, you get the perp traders coming in, and you get the leverage traders. And there's a lot of heavy leverage being put on this thing, particularly when it comes down. When it comes down to 93, 92, 91, Michael Saylor says it's going to go back to 100. So what happens? A bunch of leverage traders come in with heavy leverage to ride this thing back up with leverage, because that's what Saylor said. We're gonna peg it back to 100. And then what happens? And then you get the shorters on top of that. And you get big, heavy shorts coming in, driving the price even down, taking out the leverage trades. So all of this is happening outside of just Bitcoin and what Bitcoin is about. So as Stretch goes down, the confidence in Bitcoin goes down. We also have the MicroStrategy stock itself going down. It went down to 107 on Thursday, which I said I'm not touching MicroStrategy stock right now because this is all way too volatile. There's much better places to have your money in the stock market than MicroStrategy. So all of that is going on outside of the Bitcoin network. Demand growth is low. We see this happen every summer. This is what happens. Last summer in 2025, again, we were in a bull market, although there was a decline with all of the tariff nonsense. The demand for Bitcoin did continue to grow, though, in a bull market, at least until early October. And then we had October 10th, the big crash, and then confidence in crypto crashed as well. And you see demand even lower now, which would be expected in a bear market. So all of this happening with Bitcoin. We get this post from James Wood, and sometimes this character does good posts, like F. Arthur Hayes, F. Michael Saylor, F. Tom Lee. There, I said it for you. They did the media round screaming for prices that were absurd. And they were. They were all talking about these huge prices for crypto, Bitcoin, ETH, and others. And we here have been saying, don't listen to that. That's all noise right now. This is not what is happening in the crypto markets. We'll have those times. We'll have times to talk about those things, but we got to get through the summer first. And Bitcoin as a network is better than any individual person. You can say anything you want about Michael Saylor and what he's doing with MicroStrategy and Stretch and the challenge on Bitcoin's price because of all of that. And the sentiment out there is bad. This is not the same as Luna and what happened with Luna, but it is a Luna-like thing that is happening, which causes weakness in the markets, causes ETF holders to sell. So we see a lot of that. BlackRock selling a lot of Bitcoin because their holders are, the IBIT holders are selling the ETFs. So we have all of that going on. Bitcoin is now forecasted to go as low as $47,000 this year per Kalshi traders. And you know, on this channel, we've been targeting about 50K, and that could be coming in the next couple weeks as we have weakness. So we can talk about SpaceX and its huge IPO a week ago. That was just a week ago. It was just a week ago. It just seems like so long ago. It was just a week ago. And what happened with SpaceX yesterday? Well, it was the profit taking. It was the big profit taking on on SpaceX stock as it fell all the way down to 172 from a high of 225 earlier in the week. Did recover a bit up to 185, traded down back down to about 181 after market. That is, SpaceX is just, I think it's going to kind of go a bit sideways from here and maybe more on the downside as we go into August and the big 20% unlocks that are going to come around August 11th. So that was the fun that SpaceX had. And what does it mean for Doge directly? Nothing. We had a little pump on Doge pre-IPO, and Doge settled back down and is just following the market right now. There was this cute post by the Dogecoin X account reposting that Final Fantasy XIV players in Japan can get a giant Shiba Inu mount just for paying their income tax. The rewards are part of a Japanese tax program giving out in-game cosmetics. And you can get yourself a Shiba dog that you can ride around. Three things guaranteed when you live in Japan: death, taxes, and a giant Doge. I mean, that's what we're left with here. We're grappling for anything we can. Dogecoin related, Bitcoin, Doge, XRP, cryptocurrency market needs momentum. Well, it doesn't have it right now. Buyers have slowed the decline, weakening rebound volume, strong resistance overhead, volatility will remain elevated until key support levels turn into resistance. And right now they're not. Right? I mean, well, we have the declining prices, of course, and we'll see whether that 61K holds on Bitcoin over the weekend, or is Bitcoin going to come down lower? And what does it mean for Doge? Doge struggles to move forward, still in clear downtrend, struggling. And if the broader crypto market weakens again, Dogecoin could revisit recent lows. So we will be testing 8 cents. We'll be going into the upper 7s. That looks like that is playing out. As of now, Doge seems to be caught between a dominant bearish trend. It hasn't been broken. Oversold recovery dynamics. All of that has been happening. So, yeah, weakness in the markets here in the bear market. So that's what we have going on right now as I'm recording this on Juneteenth. So we'll be back on Monday, and we'll have a live stream then. Probably put out a video over the weekend with any updates, depending on how things go. But it's a 3-day weekend of crypto trading with no stock market being open. And I just kind of think we're just going to have this kind of low volume, sideways trading for the most part. Looks like what the trading for crypto is going to be over the weekend. Let me know in the comments below. What do you think about these critical levels for Dogecoin and how you are surviving the bear market so far? Give the video a like, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I appreciate the support. We'll see you next time.